Can you tell us a little bit about Dia de los Muertos? Which is day, am I correct in saying it's Day of the
Dia
Dead?
de los Muertos.
It's Day of the Dead?
Yes,
Okay.
we celebrate Dia de los Muertos. It's May 2nd. I guess May 1st is Dia de los Ángeles. And Dia de los Ángeles means when the kids die. It's just for kids. And next day is Dia de los Muertos.
Which it's in November, isn't it?
November.
Okay. You said May. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's alright. I just wanted to make sure for the people listening that they understood that it was November.
Right. No, it's in November 2nd.
Okay.
And we celebrate usually in October. People is cleaning the tombs. They are going there and cleaning, like painting or putting some flowers or trees or wherever they can find. And now it's more like commercial. People is selling a lot of stuff, food, candy, sometimes beer, because sometimes people celebrate. Depends how the person die. If they die like to be old or something, so they bring music and flowers. More in the south, they celebrate, they have a little bit different celebration. They bring like altar, they put some flowers and they put some candies, and fruit, food, and they put some candles, and they put the picture for the person who is dead. And they put a lot of colorful decorations. They make like a small skeleton. I don't know how to call it. The head.
A skeleton.
A skeleton. Sometimes they are made with sugar. And they bring a lot of yellow flowers for the season.
And what is this? What does this celebration and doing all these things signify? What is this?
It's just to bring respect and to let them know the people who is dead, they are still in our hearts, and we remember them with respect, and we don't forget them. Okay. They're still alive in our hearts.
And that's done in your culture in a more open way, where everybody does it on the same day.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes people sleep in the tombs. Sometimes people don't sleep. They just put the chairs around the tomb, and the people, family or close friends from the people who is dead, they just sit there and talk and eating, drinking, smoking, talking, just bringing a little bit of their time to let them know they are there with them and they miss them. It's just like a celebration.
Okay, good. That brings me to another question. So, how are the viewpoints on cremation versus burial? And where would those people be? Would they be celebrating around the ashes, or so to speak? Or I mean, how does that tie into all this?
We usually, the people who is burn is for people who can afford it.
Okay.
So usually, sometimes rich people do that. They put like they do here, I guess, they put in some container and they pray, they celebrate, but
so it costs more to be cremated than it does to be buried?
Is one of the options, and the second one is we don't, in Mexico is maybe like 5, I don't have an idea, but the things I hear, maybe like 5 places in the whole country doing those things. So we don't, it's like maybe 5% of the people do that. because
Okay.
we are more like we need to bury them, we need to go and pray to them.
Okay.
We are
That doesn't
not,
fit in with the traditions then.
right,
Okay.
no.
And I just wonder, to close out here, what kind of immediate differences do you see with your having, been exposed to the Euro-American culture versus your culture and death? What kind of differences do you see in how death is approached from those two cultures, if any at all?
Right. Well, in my culture, people is allowed to visit the person who is dead in the place where they are, how they call it, the capital.
In the cemetery?
No, when the person is dead, is just laying there.
Oh, okay. So they go to visit them like in a wake. A wake is what they call it here.
Okay, so we
Where they're on display and
Right.
and you come by and pay your respects.
Right.
Okay.
So we go there and we can stay one day, the whole entire day over there, or maybe 2 days, until the dead person, they will bring him to bury. We will stay there. Sometimes the family just stay there and they don't go nowhere, just staying there. And here you have like a schedule, 2 hours and that's it, or I don't know how long you can go and visit them, but
That's about right, about 2 or 3 hours usually.
2 or 3 hours, and over there is open 24 hours. You can go and stay with them. Plus, and we don't bring food when the person is dead. We bring food when we pray after 9 days.
Okay.
And
What would you think? What is the reason behind that? Why do they follow that type of tradition? What's the significance of that?
to thank the people who is going for 9 long days and praying the Rosario, to let them know, thank you, we appreciate you are in the worst time of our life, supporting.
So it's kind of just like a respect to the other people who are everybody, the relatives who are
Right.
suffering from the death of a relative. We're just not going to eat anything. We're just going to
Right.
pray and just be
We
to
are
ourselves.
right. We
Okay.
are in a kind of sadness moment. Sometimes you don't even care about food, or you are just been crying and crying, and especially with the person who is dead is more close to you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to know nobody, just be there and praying, but we don't celebrate like we are not happy for the people who is dead. We are really sad in our hearts, and we have a lot of respect for that moment. So everybody's quiet. Sometimes, like I say, they bring music, because I guess before to go to, if the person asks, the person who is dead asks before dying, I want music at my funeral, it's because he wants to do that.
Okay. So they have a respect for that
Right.
request.
So
But ordinarily they might not do that if that person didn't ask for that.
right.
Okay. Is there any other differences at all that you notice between the cultures at all? That you can think of?
The dress code, I guess. Usually people is going over there with black clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are dressing with black. Not right now. Right now it's not strict, but before, in the girls, especially the old women, they need to cover their hair with some kind of.
Okay. So it kind of follows like along a more strict religious
Yes.
type of outlook on it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, I want to thank you for being here with us today and answering these questions. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.